All right, there we go. Give everybody just a few minutes to hop on and get to it. Morning, y'all.
Buenos días.
Morning, Diaz. What's going on?
I
Oh,
need you to take back that XRP short you were talking about.
oh shit! Why?
No, I'm kidding. I watched the video. He made me sad.
I mean,
I know. I know. I
you
know.
know, motherfucker heavy.
I
All right.
believe.
Okay. The power of belief. All right. So the analysis for this morning, especially those of you guys hopping on YouTube, for our three ETFs, mostly Qs and SPYs, trash. I will not be participating as long as it looks or remains in this range. If it chooses to break this range, it could set up a potential trade. There's definitely a potential downside trade for a retest of 614, but other than that, I'm pretty much on the sidelines with this one, and that's an easy decision to make. I could care less unless one of the triggers around me breaks. Qs are in between the box. Spies basically just sitting on its, trying to hold on to its floor here this morning. So, there's definitely still technically some bullishness here. We haven't lost anything. So everything downside would be speculative until it happens. Um, it's not like there's a ton of empty space down here, to try. I mean, on a lower time frame, there's these pockets of empty space, which if you feel invited to trade, but um, so I mean, at least I think the best thing is that we are opening up with some sense of tension. That's good, and the range again just leads either eight into all time highs. 659 is or 95 is also a target to have in there, but IWM, it's not really done much other than tap that 263.84. I think this one out of all of them, probably has the better setup. If it decides to have volatility today, we could look over or through that 265 area and try and tag it up for a retest around 266. If you'd shoot for all of that empty space, that's probably going to be best done with a little bit, maybe an extra day of expiration. All right, no sound on YouTube. Mic check. Wait, really? No sound on no sound on YouTube?
Who's who else is talking?
I think that's the song.
Yeah, it's a song. It's a dude in a song talking. The background. Wait,
Oh, sorry,
it
bro. My
says
bad.
it says you guys are picking up my voice. YouTube, can you guys can hear? Okay. Hey, everybody's fine on YouTube now. Might have had it muted. All right. So yeah, that's basically the diagnosis here today. You'll kind of notice that price actions form fitting around previous price action, so use that if you will. kind of taking a little bit more of a relaxed approach until these setups break. No, you're good. You're good. Should be about 1,000 people ask me to redo this anyway. Okay. Now, Netflix asked. Wait, I do hear myself.
Yeah, I hear your echo. I think on YouTube.
There it is. Yeah, that's because I unmuted it. Gross. So cool. Gap up. Obviously dead slap center in between where the fuck I wanted to go and where the hell we just took off from. So could be a little bit, yeah, no, not super cool. But 87.75 is the target overhead. So hopefully we get a gap and go here. The rules about opening up an empty space, a little loosey goosey. Typically, if you're above, we look at a retest. If you're still below, that's where you would look for the rejection. So this morning, we can look inside of this range. The only thing I see on Netflix is this. So the hope here would be that if you do pull back, it's quick, it's painless, and we move back up. That's where we broke out from. So obviously somewhere around 85 is somewhere we do not want to retest. Yeah. But anyway, Netflix looks like it might end up being a decent play here this morning. Kroger, which is another one that we were looking at, it has not really shifted gears, but it is open above that at 63.90. So hopefully we get that pushing up and out today on Kroger. Other than that, still keeping my eyes on fast. We've got the some equity out here that we're going into this week. Elf, it's opening up in range, no change there. Just look out below. But we have good structure underneath us as well. Celsius is opening up in range still, if you're still holding equity on that one. Target on the week. On the weekly last week, it offered a retest, and that obviously could be, yeah, perfect 104 retest. There's a gap up there. I discussed this week. If you're watching Target, we want it to build a box, but we want it to go and fill that gap while it does it. If it builds a box like this, that would be perfect because that could give us the ability to fill that gap on the way out. So I'm tempted to short silver here. I hope you're right. Shorting at all-time highs can get a little sketchy, a little scary. Right now, you're shorting a generational run that'll likely never happen again in our lifetimes. From 49 to $100. So, if you do short it, you got lucky because technically speaking, you're either just using price point. I mean, you have to, right? Use those lower time frame price points, but you're shorting against the grain. That's the only I haven't seen, too many. This is definitely not a sign of weakness, but best of luck to you. If you do, make sure you use a great stop loss. That's going to circumvent a lot of pain. All right, folks. So this week, like I said before, I've hit my weekly or monthly goal, blew past it actually. So I'm taking a little bit more of a laid back approach, managing my positions on that one, and leaning into my father-in-law's account so he doesn't get mad at me anymore. CRWV this morning shot up and looks like it wants to shoot out. So if you are watching CRWV, we talked about this one last week being a potential continuation play. You're looking for a target here at 106.50, leading you up to, and it's hard to call this one a box, but I'd say 110.50 is your next target up above. The goal here is to get through this small box. I think that, you get the rest of it. So what was that? Blah, blah. I shorted silver from 90 down to 75. Awesome, man. That's good. Good for you. Hope you made some money on that. All right. So, if you guys have anything you want me to take a look at here this morning, it is 8:18. Now would be the time. Let me know which direction you're looking at. If you don't tell me which direction, I'm not going to take your request. Okay. Uh, you got that one, Philo. That was pretty damn good. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely did that. All of those triggers fired, so. So to its benefit on this trend, right? You're holding the line. Weekly needs above 38. 24 hours going to shift. It's going to be above 39. Upon breaking out, again, I lean on empty space. This has not, right? At least on this time frame. I would be looking for a break outside of 38.80 for a target first of 42.70. Second target would be 46.24. AMD downside. Uh, you are fighting the grain or going against the grain on this one. I like to try to go and look for where our previous supports have held us. Not really seeing that. It's like yeah, not a clear level here, but so we're gonna lean there on the hourly because this is gonna help you if you are going short on AMD, which we are moving up, so just something to keep in mind. But your pre-market lows actually and 253.67 would be that first trigger. You'd have two triggers stacked on top of one another. 50% of that range is a support for 248, and that's where this empty space will play out a little bit better. But that's a lower time frame trade. Down on a higher time frame trend up, and you're just against resistance. So a lot of the times, if we do hold, it's going to be choppy. So Meta going into earnings. So far, we're opening up. This one might end up taking off today. Fuck it. But look for the actually looking at this one to go to 674 or 673.60 being exact, over 666.38 today. That's it. Right, going into earnings, it has all of this empty space. It has a target of 707 to the upside, which maybe was was an old cost basis. But the empty space is there. So if you're taking this on earnings, hopefully you've made some money on it, and you're throwing some of that money into that. But it doesn't look bad going into earnings. So. I ran upside, so nothing goes up until you recover the floor of 59.11. Period. End of story. It's just not going to happen until that does. When that does occur, though, $63 will be one of the first targets up above you. But I would be trading it unless I wanted to get that empty space all the way into 77s. What in the special ed class is this shit? Oh, better. It would make it better if they had a wisp. Ugh, can't handle that. All right. So RTX earnings, is this at all-time highs? Yeah. So I don't really fuck with all-time highs, but one of the surefire ways that you can check if something's going to be worth your time and energy is how it performs previously. It looks like decent move right there, decent in, not really great movement there, trash move there, trash move here, decent move there, trash here, trash there, trash there. I mean, it led to a pretty decent run. And one of the things that you leaned on was empty space. That's one thing that you do not have at all. So with that being said, and with its lack of empty space, I'm not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any structure anywhere actually. So this is one of those setups where I just would cast it off as an outcast because it's definitely not something that gives me anything clear. This one has just as much of a chance to bounce and flip this candle and go green as it does for perhaps a punch down and a move down to that 182. And here's the deal, guys. If I don't feel like I don't let stocks become problems for me. I don't ever struggle to chart, and to this person who's trading this for earnings, do your thing. This is my perspective. If it does not present, and this is everyday trading too, if it does not look clear, I don't want to solve it. I don't give a shit to solve it. I don't care about its problems. I don't care what happens to it. All I care about is empty space and boxes. So if it does not fit the script, it gets tossed in the trash can as an irrelevant setup or lack of one. So all right. Yeah, no problem, man. Where did that just go? There it is. Kava to the top of the box. Kava is still a great candidate for continuation to the upside. You're just on standby here at the moment while it tries to figure out where it wants to find its floor. This is a significant area to bounce and would be an area that you could look for with market cooperation, a return back up above 68.50. But until that happens, there is no cigar. If you do fall, you have a target of 64 flat and you have a target of 62. If it falls fast enough, that could sponsor that reversal trade back up to the upside. You are dealing or trading inside of this control here, so that hopefully is to your benefit, where $64 will be that retest level. I like your philosophy on stocks. I'm not trying to solve a problem. Yeah, you don't get an award or a medal or anything like that. Find your setup, find the anomaly, find what you're looking for. Something that happens in the stock market that you know uh, opens up the ability for you to trade, and focus on that. You don't have to be good at trading shitty setups. Like, no medal for that. So. I can't tell you. I've gotten so much better over the years at only responding to the setups that trigger me, like only responding to the setups that are like, oh shit, that's it. And within seconds of seeing that setup, I typically respond that way. I think a lot of you guys in here can attest to that. It's like a moment of silence is almost needed, because I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's a great setup. I felt same way about Celsius. I talked about Celsius for months before it even got to that range. Kava actually was one we talked about and traded. Same deal. So yeah, CRWV is trying to go. I think the thing is you look at the market as a whole, you look at all the losing that occurs in the market, and now you found an anomaly. A place where price moves rapidly, where contracts are cheap, where money can be made, and then you're like, nah, I'm gonna trade something else. Okay. All right. This reminds me of Abbott Laboratories. But speaking of a bad setup, this has got to be one, because nothing has been lost, nothing has been gained. The only thing that's been gained is pain. So as of right now, hopefully SoFi goes bankrupt. But man, I tell you what, the more you hold the floor, the more you fight, the higher the probability that this fucker pops up and does it again, and maybe even offers some upside off of that. But what stock am I talking about? Anyone that doesn't look good. So anyone I cast off is yeah. This one lacks serious volume, but it is still a candidate to potentially get where it needs to go, while it is struggling as it goes for that breakout into that space. It's that wick right there that's kind of holding you back, right around there. So I think you're still in the game here this morning. I would be above 1062, and then you're looking for $11 flat. It's not a big huge move. It's only $1 move, so the risk to reward on that one is rough. So Oh, SoFi up. Well, then in that case, yeah, you're looking for the floor right there at 26.23 to get broken, and you're looking for 26.60. Hold on, 26.20 to break, and then you're looking for 26.63 up to trigger that empty space to the upside. So, if SoFi goes into earnings holding this floor, then I would be short. Yes, I'm sure I would be short for a very clear target. Mark, all right, here, put this on a Pokemon card. I have a 2270 as a target to the downside. It's yeah, I'm not missing this one. I'll put even if I only put $200 into that motherfucker, it looks just like Abbott. Abbott. Oh, I can't look at you. Disgust me. I disgust me. All right. What's my target for Netflix? My target for Netflix pretty straightforward here, boss. We're looking for a tap of 87.85. That is the first priority here this morning, but I'm pretty happy about the swing setup right now. Love the potential. Maybe you could try to see if this is a breakout or a return. Um, I mean, this is what I'm anticipating. If we're gonna go build boxes and wait for news, you're gonna pull back immediately. So the goal is to get the risk off the table, take your trade, but there is more. There is more, just like Meta. There's more. And so I will consider once if we can move past 87.87 and my risk is gone and I've trimmed, then I will look for that 88.81. And if price action is moving in a similar fashion to Meta and AMD, the same trades that I've taken off of damn near the same setup, that's what I'll be looking for. Do you trade ETFs also? A lot of success on double long single stock ETFs. So yes, this is options. My strategy is good for everything though. But I do trade the ETFs, but I trade them in waves. So typically it's 3 to 4 days at a time, and then I'm out. If I see weakness or I see opens in range, I don't touch. I have really strict rules over the ETFs because I make a lot of money on them. But I only do that by preserving my cash and not trading it when it looks stupid. All right. Anyway, ISRG down. Did that have earnings? And it did. Oh yeah. Hold on. Oh, that's tempting. Okay, so I have two sets of diagnoses for you. One, you hold the floor here this morning, you stay in this box, right? That would be obviously not super bearish. Scenario two, yeah, so hourly 519, and it would just be that wick in your way. I would be targeting 496.17, and obviously you could look for the whole enchilada. Um, it does respond and bounce at every single one of its levels, so I would expect for it to do just that, especially if it falls quickly. It's an interesting setup here. Interesting setup here. I think what I'm going to do here is set an alert right here on the floor. And if it surpasses that, I might look into it too as well. It's not a bad setup. I'm just curious to see how it responds to that floor. Yeah, I mean you're locked down. That was what you had to break out to get here. That's what you're being held down underneath. That's yeah, it's pretty major. So Oracle down. Yeah. Oh, you leaving? What? Botter glocks. You have a great day. Have a good week. Oh my god. Be kind. Be good. Okay. Be great. Mwah. You have cute little hairy teeth. Oh wow. Thanks for adding the word hairy to that. Okay. I live with my own trolls. Oracle down. Ask him. That was the Ellie. That was Ellie. She's going to school. Anyone in the chat have an idea on QQQ and Spy? That's on my YouTube. I just that was the first analysis I did. Whoa, here, Chief. What the hell do you think you're doing? No, no, this is analysis time. Is it posted now? It's live now, so you can go back and rewind it. Yes. Nah, you got to give them time to do proper analysis, man. KMX still long. Yeah, so this one I'm looking for a retest. I am really happy about how quickly it fell. This one can be added, re-added to the watch list. Watch for 45.48, but more importantly, watch for this floor at 47.11 to get retested and a break over 48.20 to get moving in the right direction. So this one's still a W. Still like the setup, still clean, but might need a little retest here. So
Tú hablas con gente en la escuela y en la mañana no tienes tu breath no es fresco. Oh shit.
bro, tell no, no,
just happened?
no, 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 no. In Escula? No
Hey,
way.
hey, chill.
What just happened?
That was Manny, fucking Jorge, struggling through some Spanish, brother. No, I'm just kidding.
Bro, don't do me.
I'm just fucking with you.
Definitely did yourself.
He said, "Es en escuela en mañana." I love it, dude. Jorge's he's like Thanos, dude. He's inevitable in every reality in this Discord. He's present.
Is that a different version of Jorge? Because that didn't sound like Jorge.
He's teaching Spanish now. It's getting so good. 7150 is the wick that I see in front of me. Shit, I don't know Spanish. What am I talking about? So this is a range, and it is, yes, going to be above that 571.72. So honestly, with this sort of setup, it'd be kind of sick if you pulled back, bounced, and then took off, because that would give you a nice 592.50 target there to the upside. All right, what else? What else do we got? I can handle more tickers. Oh shit, MP with a gap up above. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, you got nothing but empty space up above you, so you got to give it a 77.80 and $79 target here this morning. Now, a quick gap fill is always welcome, but of course, with this gapping up right here, you need to engulf and you're okay. So, how many of you have ever heard of Orb that are new? Right? Orb is just opening range breakout. A lot of people in the stock market like to put acronyms and names on shit to make them sound smart. But you're just marking the highs and lows of your pre-market to mark an entry. It's an incomplete tool people interpret as a strategy. It's not a strategy, but with higher time frame analysis, you can actually say, okay, what's above Orb? Nothing. That's cool. So that makes it a good Orb setup. Orb is not good without a partnering solid strategy, in my opinion. Orb is not a strategy by itself. There's my controversial comment for the moment. All right. What else do we have here? GGLL? What the hell? Oh, Lord. Rather do analysis on Google, but I mean, looking at the hourly here, I would say my first instinct is, to mark out this range. You've already done plumb punch through that. And then this in it by itself is a range, but there's no structure within it. So I would say right now you're looking at a retest. Actually, hold on, pause, wrong. Opening. 101.50. And that's only obviously if you see continuation under your pre-market low. Your pre-market low, or 103.80, would be the trigger to the downside. While to the upside, the old box is irrelevant now, and this box is relevant, which makes 107 the trigger to the upside. So honestly, I mean, it's not a good setup. I think that's just plain and simple. It's just not a great setup. I mean, there is empty space there, so if you catch it on a retest, that could open up a pretty solid trade. But as far as empty space on either side of this, it's not present. So if you're new here, I lean on empty space. I do not trade in range. I do not trade structure. None of that, because that's not where the money is. This is actually a prime example of exactly what I'm talking about. Now, while it doesn't mean that I can't do analysis on it, it does mean that I definitely will not trade it. So it looks like your previous box right here is what's holding you down. Those wicks are 75.88. If you break those, which right now you're holding the floor, you're looking at a retest of the top, possibly up into 80 bucks. But I mean, you're in between a rock and a hard place. This one immediately drops off the watch list, and it's like, to me, it's just far more simple to say point A to whatever you're trying to take it to. So but yeah, I mean, honestly, one could look at this more as a short position, right? The fact that you broke out how many times? 1, 2, 3, pull back, punch back, you get the punch back, you go up, there's empty space, you fail. You fail. Not only do you fail, you fall. You fall underneath what you worked so hard to break over. Then you fall underneath what you built to get there. And now you're sitting on top of the volume that started the whole journey in the first place. So with this overhead pressure, if it continues and you're below 68, honestly, I mean, just going by trending channels, dude, I'd be looking down somewhere in the 52s. Yeah, how many of you guys are in USAR? Because holy shit. And also, goddamn, at the same exact time. There's definitely some more money to be made on this one, but if you swung USAR, that was a perfect setup, B, lots of empty space remaining, and if you go, damn, it just nicked it. There's just a little bit left at 41.78, but man, yeah, I mean, you could be selling shares now, but dude, yeah, that was obviously a little disappointing that it pulled back as much as it was, but there's some of you who are long on USAR. And I think the other cool thing is, and I saw some of you guys talking about this, I am, this is one of the, again, to double down, to believe even more for myself, the news is in the chart, always. The news is in the chart. Empty space, structure, your building. Just like I think earnings is in the chart. So far, I haven't really been proved wrong. Now that is trash. So, do you see empty space below? Do you see empty space above? Kind of hate this one, but it's moving right up moving under the floor for a move up. I hate this one too, dude. You know, when you say that out loud, it's like, I view that as like you just saying, I hate my ex, but I'm lonely. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what time it is. You're about to get slapped.
Great analogy.
Great analogy.
I will reflect on that.
I would reflect on that for sure.
Hey, question for
Unless,
you.
if you're into that thing, you know, maybe this is right for you. But if you do get a punch back over the 4-hour box, the 4-hour would be the only time frame that would be acceptable. But unless you want to get beaten, I'd yeah, I mean, you do have a lower time frame. You could possibly take it over there to try to get the floor, to get to the cost spaces, and then get up there. But if you wait for your trigger, maybe you'll have a better result. All right.
Hey, did you look into that stride at all?
I did, man. I'll be honest
I
with you,
saw.
dude. It's almost too much. Like, would I expect this to get filled up in a relatively like quick amount of time? I don't think so. I mean, other serious drops like this one tapped structure and then filled up their empty space.
Yeah,
This
it's
one
also
is
fundamental. They lost a bunch of enrollments and whatnot. It's like a technology, like a technology for students and whatnot, and they lost 25% of their enrollments due to platform issues, and that was
oof.
that hard drop.
Yeah, so I mean, if they could, maybe fix that, but I mean, the technical level, the technical setup here is, you know, I think this is actually interesting because it reminds me of what the fuck was that stock? Work? No, W. I don't know. Some started with a W. Workday. Oh my god. I'd rather go on to work that day. It is
We work.
72.82. You open up. The price is higher. And we don't know the answer yet. But you did on Friday. Did anybody want to buy? Nah. The volume is trash. Now, when we get an update on those financials, perhaps those can change. And I know it has earnings, so maybe just off of short interest alone, there could be an upside move. But yeah, it's a
Earnings
difficult.
tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Interesting. My gut tells me no. I mean, I'll take a second look at it. If it was to close flat green with a big ass green candle against 77, I might reconsider. But other than that, yeah, not for me. So there is such thing as too much empty space, like unnatural amount of empty space, and that to me is uh oftentimes not always filled in a straightforward fashion. In fact, let me just give you this example. So like this is relative, on the weekly definitely would be empty space. What did it take you? Look at that. To get to the top, the bottom, you fill up the empty space. Damn Skippy. But the way you got there, I'd rather run myself down a mandolin. No protective gloves. All right. Fast up. That one still has hope. The weekly still looks pretty good. The 24-hour is retesting here this morning off of a red candle. I'd like to see engulfment today and a pop over 44.80 to get to that second target of 46.68. So, right now I'm watching Kroger, Netflix, Meta, Lulu, XRP for a generational short. No, I was kidding. Nasdaq and Crocs are earnings trades that I'm looking at. AMSC is also one I'm looking at. I'm in Netflix and Kroger, and looking to possibly grab an earnings position for Meta. So I'm again just gonna repeat this. If you weren't here this weekend, I smashed my goal for the month of January, and just going. I'm hitting the withdrawal today, and I'm gonna manage the positions that I have, but and trade the watch list that I have. But I am going to be trying to see what I could do with my father-in-law's account. Which, you want to talk about nerves? I can manage my own shit, but now I'm like thinking about, damn, I gotta go over to his house. It's gonna be interesting. I still like Pinterest, yeah. Firefly Aerospace. So when something doesn't have enough volume through a range, it will build more range, which is good and bad because it's not easy to trade, but it also gives you a floor to say this is where you stay up. And that's what right now it looks like you might need. Um, I mean, these type of setups are also very simple conceptually because it's like, okay, above 3147, you're looking up. There's literally hardly anything above you. So the other account got banned. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not banned. I just can't. Okay, nothing happens when I go live. I'm just talking shit on that account now. That account's not good for anything other than that. Does he have any
Hey, Garrett.
goal he would like to get to? What's up?
Hey, good morning. Can you talk us through how you manage pins? I know a bunch of us had 20. We had multiple contracts. I think the 30th as well as some had them for uh, last week. At what point of time do you cut, or at what point of time do you stay on in the trade, or even average in? Right?
So when we got into this trade, we discussed coming out of this range, which is where we got into the original trade. It started building up at resistance, and at that point, when it had bounced 3 times off the floor, I had mentioned that that was basically the no drop zone. That anything underneath that, I needed to reduce my risk and hedge. And that's or roll my contracts out, which is what I did. I rolled my contracts out, reduced my risk, and grabbed hedges for what I believed was the worst case scenario, which was $25 at the drop. Now, when that started to happen, I mentioned that, and not a lot of people really responded. So I'm not, again, sure what everybody did with theirs, but I was focused on the box down below me, and if we dropped underneath that, I knew what time it was, especially having the 3 at the top and 1 at the bottom. It just was one of those setups where it seemed like it needed that last bounce. So reducing my risk, rolling my contracts, and I actually was able to profit off of the puts to the downside, which I did not buy the bounce, unfortunately. I'd like to say this, I managed that perfect, but I wasn't able to get into the bounce. So I'm actually still watching this one for a potential re-entry where it does have empty space. And actually this morning it is retesting structure, so it might be a candidate to reverse. So but yeah, that was and I did mention actually there was a talk that we had on Pinterest about just getting back in, um, about this box, and if this box was lost and it punched down below, that we're going to go make a new low. So that you could always just get back in if you wanted to above 26.75. So
Hey, thanks.
you got it. All right. They both hide from me. I got to type Potter in the search bar. Oh, that's weird. Does my father-in-law have any goal or profits he would like to get to? He handed me $2,000 and said, "Make me rich." So I'm not exactly sure what that means. Um, but I asked him. I said, "I said, how are we doing this?" I was like, "Are we going like full risk on? Like, let's fuck it. The 2K is already gone type mentality, or how are we doing this?" And he just said, "Make me rich." Just like that, actually. And then we did a shot of tequila. All right, let's see here. What else do we got? So this one, straightforward answer here is, we got to get through this range here. I'm looking at $7 first. And then after that, you're looking at 750. And then, I mean, this honestly could be a candidate for some sort of squeeze or news, perhaps. But that's all I see. On the 24-hour, you got 3 bars, including today's, which will be leaving a gap behind. So it's absolutely essential that you keep it fucking moving. Oh God, I'm getting more messages in Filipino. Boss Potter, grab that I cramps as well as my egg cramps. Okay. 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 Yeah, so a million by year's end will do. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if he told me, "Here's 2 grand, I want you to like just fucking go balls to the wall, like just gamble, but with high probability. put half the account to every trade. I mean, that'd be fun. It just probably wouldn't work. You know, if it did work, I mean, like if I hit 2 big trades in the row like that, you know, I'd be like, all right, it's time to fucking take profit. I mean, guys, nothing has happened, right? The analysis is still the same. So if you're still waiting on this one or watching this one, go to the 4-hour, and your level of reclamation is right there, 3460. Okay, that's what we need. Okay, OKLO down. It's 8:54, folks. Hopefully you're ready to go. All right, so this is where you broke out from. That is where you're retesting. If you lose that, you have more downside and a 80-60 retest as well. There's a gap down there as well with all empty space leading to it, so you better hang on, or yes, you could be looking at a new low. It's typically not a great thing when you break out of something, retest, and then lose it all. So this is kind of your last chance here. I would be looking up above you if you are looking up at this box here, which separates you from a potential move back up. There is not a lot of empty space up there, so
They want.
do what?
I was just saying that they wanted down.
Oh, well then there you go.
Hey, did you look? It's just a first look. Did you look at KMB for earnings tomorrow?
Do they move well? Let's see.
Somewhat, but on the last couple, there's some movement.
Real quick, will you do something for me? Go tell me how much the 108 or 110 strike is for this
Yeah.
week. Oh my God. Dang.
108s are 40 cents to 65 cents, and 110s are 20 cents to 30 cents.
Hmm. Interesting.
It's pretty cheap, man. Good IV and good open interest too. Good enough, I should say.
It is hit or miss, though. It is hit and miss on the earnings. I mean, you've gone years, or it looks like months, without a solid pop. So, yeah, recently it seems like it's picked up a bit more speed or reaction time. I mean, I don't want to say no, because I mean, you do get 2 bounces off of a major floor. You do have empty space up above you, and it's not a lot of overhead resistance to stop you. So if you shot out at 115s or 112s, or as far as even if you wanted to keep it just ridiculously low risk, you could do 116s. Not sure how I feel about that one, but it's sad that my dish is the sweetness Boss Potter. Alex, your friend is sending me some cryptic messages right now, man. I'm not sure what to think. Does he need help? No, I'm just kidding. I like that I like that he feels safe and he can come in here and just, you know, talk about it. Arm is literally, dude, your arm is pinned. This is, again, I want to show everybody this. Everybody should be looking right now. This is what it looks like when you are pinned, and it doesn't matter what time frame. What trigger is above, and I could give that probably a little bit extra right there. What do you have above, and what do you have below? And when you're stuck in between them, you have the liberty of choosing, right? It's also a good time to step out and look at where you are. Did you have to break over that to get here? Yes. Did you fall back underneath it? Also yes. So what do we need to see? A green candle close up against, at minimum, 118.61. Simple. Right? Obviously, anything outside of 120, and you could consider that another move. However, you fell underneath 118. So if you do trigger that 114.50, expect a return to sender. Probably somewhere down in here. Yeah, 109. That's a great example of, on a lower time frame, what it looks like when you're stuck in between two ranges and when I don't care. Like, if it's a trade setup that I'm interested in, okay. And I could also say, like, look at the empty space within that. There's empty space down there too, but you know, I love that name, Born to Retire. It's funny. All right, F Sun. You said no options for this one. So are you trading? I mean, if you are wanting to go short, yeah. I mean, if you just want to see something work out, maybe you just look for that break underneath 37.50 and then look for that 35.75. Yeah, if it doesn't have options, not much we can do with it. All right, Geo still a hold for the upside. I think so. Yeah. What is this? This is actually beautiful. This is beautiful. I mean, as beautiful as private prisms can get, but yeah, it's gap down. You are underneath that floor, but as long as you can pop up over your pre-market highs and fill that gap, you'll be in range and have built and retested, which retesting, engulfment, and you should be on your way. It does move a little slow, so you know, NO up, NOW up. So no box, right? And a lot of, I really like a good pinch before the break. So we haven't really gotten that yet, but we also haven't gotten the 137.50 area. So that is my target here this morning. Actually, hold on, rewind. Yo face. So yeah, it's gonna be 135.87 and come here. 136.87 would be the targets to the upside. All right, it is 9 o'clock. If you are on YouTube or TikTok, you guys got about 25 minutes left with me. So if you have any questions or anything like that, just to repeat, today we're going to be watching Kroger to the upside, still targeting 62. Make sure you have your stop losses set. We're looking at Netflix for continuation. We swung that over the weekend. Meta going into earnings. Lulu's also capturing my interest. Hello, cat. Will you please stop destroying my desk? Thank you. There's a $300 tower in my office for you to sit on. If you want to sit and fuck up my computer, shouty. Turn you into a purse, chief. All right. So that's about it. Well, there was
Hey, Garrett.
yeah, what's up?
Hey, just a quick question. I know silver is at an all-time high, but if we were looking at any point of time to buy puts on it on its way down, because it'll fall,
What was the
what would
ticker
be
again,
the
brother?
silver
Oh,
SLV?
silver. Got you. Yeah. Okay.
So it's probably going to go even higher because of the news and all of that. But at what point of time would we look? I mean, there is
What was the
like,
news, if you don't mind me asking? Will you tell me what that was?
so just in general, rare earth, as well as I think the government's taking a stake in silver.
Right.
That's what caused it to go up, I think, overnight.
Hmm.
But at some point of time, it's probably going to go down. What would be that indication in the chart that it's on its way down?
Like fully trending down? Is
Yeah.
that so that would come. So first starts weakness, right? And that usually it can look a little bit like this, but typically when you bounce the weakness, you'll see the weakness off of those bounces. They won't go and they won't reclaim anything. They don't gap up higher. So weakness would be the first thing that I look for. Now on something that keeps continuously gapping up, or finding its bottom intraday and not losing anything, that makes it very difficult. So clearly weakness is not here. When I typically try to start, which is not typical, let me just say that, anytime I try to start a short or even a long with all-time lows, everything is dictated by the structure that's around me. So I wouldn't really be able to look at, like, from now till then, if we see a build here, or let's say this is our box and you drop down and and you fly to your imbalance, right? And then as soon as you hit that imbalance, you retest and you chop, right? This is filling up loose ends. When that occurs, nothing gets reclaimed and you drop again. Even if it goes back up to retest again, if you see that rejection, that shows weakness. You're being offered a higher price and nobody wants it. So these would be signs of weakness, but it's also silver. And it's going on a generational, seriously, our grandkids will likely be the next people to see any asset do what this gold and silver has done. So if I was to take a short on silver, the only option that I have right now is to take it below what it currently has in pre-market right now, right? A lot of the times I'll look for like little signs or things like this, but you know, how much does that offer? 97.89. So I guess the real answer here is I don't do that, or I look for something that you have reclaimed, but you've lost. Most of the time before downside comes sideways. That's just a general diagnosis. Is there's before downside comes sideways action. Even if it means that you've popped up, you've hit a new high, you completely reverse. Typically, you'll find a floor, and then you'll sideways. So,
Carter, I've been trading silver for a while now. One of the things that I noticed about it, like I know we want to short this, but do not go against the trend with silver. Silver will keep going in the trend that it's supposed to. If it's going down, you go with the downtrend. If it's going up, you go with the uptrend. It's that specific. Like NQ can manipulate and like all these other tickers can have some directional confusions, but silver is always one-sided. Like you don't want to go against the grain on silver. And if you're trying to time the top, you're trying to catch a knife.
yeah.
And that's what silver will do. It'll damage because the people that are in silver, they're probably in at an average of like $20 or $40.
There's
Why
some
would
heavy
someone
elders.
panic
Yeah.
sell at 90? So you're not going to get buyers out at that position, and you're not trying to catch that drop. What you want to wait is for confirmation that there is a structure above you that acts as resistance, so you can understand where your stop losses need to be set. Otherwise, it will just keep going through that, and you will just be stuck in a position forever, for sure, until you expire.
So I think even just to double down on that, let's just take a look at this previous example, right? Now, to my point, the first sign of weakness is what? Sideways action. But what do we see? One candle side, so you got 2 days, one with just 1 day of decline. Then you get another gap down, and then it begins hell. Untradeable hell. Hell on earth. I wish that like there are some companies or squeeze stocks that will reverse, not tangible real assets that, like this, that have the world of volume behind them. So I, again, in agreement with what you just said, am going to focus on the empty space up or down on things that make sense, not on something that I think has just gone too far, because I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake of thinking, well, it's got to stop somehow. And maybe it does give you some intraday downside, but I am also a proponent of don't try to jump in front of the trend to try to get it down, because again, last time you went on and this wasn't even hardly a piece of what we're doing now, you ripped up all the way from 18 to 28, a $10 run, and from August 20th, the beginning of August 20th till April of 2022. August of 2020 to April of 2022. And then In August of 2022, you finally fill that empty space up to the downside. Now, sure, this inflation is insane. It's really high. I'm sure when it does give some downside, it'll be pretty wide and there will be some lower time frame opportunities. But what is this chart telling us now that says short? I can't find anything. And in order to preserve capital and continue on with the system that we have, that we operate inside of, yeah, gotta wait. Again, if you're a day
Yeah, and this
trader or
is
something
a
like that, but
distraction.
I think it's also FOMO. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't have some FOMO on it too. And with any emotion, we try to figure out how we can act upon it. And I think that if you feel like you missed this, you're probably going to feel like you want to catch the other side of it. But it's not like Q's and SPY where you missed the downside so you can catch the bounce. Like, it's a little different. Maybe if, if you're just, yeah. So that's all I have to say about
You'll
that.
either learn the easy way or the hard way with silver. Like if you're in its way, it will wreck you. It's just a train that keeps going, so you don't want to go against the trend. And the
Yeah.
thing to your point is like you're not attracted by these all-time high plays because that's where your system does not work. So you just stay in your lane and
Yeah.
do
Stay in my
within
lane is
the comfort
exactly.
zone, and that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much like you will excel at it. Like, yeah, you made like 100% gain on silver, just by holding equity, but it took you 2 years to do that. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
your plays can give you 1,000% in a month.
Yeah.
So it's like you just that's where you lose your focus and you want to stay in your lane to just keep on motivated on those plays only.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, there's other assets right now that are taking off after them. There's coattails that you could grab hold of rather than trying to rip somebody's coat off, that is a big strong man.
Every trade, something that's helped me a lot is, I know it sounds so silly, whatever, but you always say like, is this for you? Like if you're playing with $1,000, is this for you? If you're playing with 100, that is this for you? You know what I mean?
I'm
Just
glad that
repeating
those
that
things
over and
are
over.
being heard because sometimes I'm like, I don't know if anybody's hearing me right now. But yeah, that's that's why I said it.
We hear you, dog. We hear you.
I get scared sometimes. All right, it is 9/11. But not really. It's 9. Yeah. Sorry, I realized how that sounded after I shouted it out. All right. YM. What? YM. This one? Oh my God. What do you want to do to that? Are you trading this one right now? Like, well, I don't know if it can get through the low up. If it can get through the lower time frame. Okay. So no doubt about that. There's definitely a 49 436 target up above. I'm in agreement with that. Yeah. If you can get, so this is what is above and what is below. Everybody should be doing that right now. What is above, what is below, but that is what is below. So we're holding 49 293 and then we're breaking over that into that empty space up above, and there's more empty space, so there's definitely some runner potential there. Thanks for the follow, Fried Egg and Cody. I'm so glad Stelio wasn't here with last week, man. Like when that guy was in my live. I love you too, paper hands. All right, folks. 912. What else do we got here? Yeah, McDonald's. What's up?
If uh what's that stock called? Rigatoni. If that can stay or Rigotti can stay
Rigatoni
out
is funny.
can stay outside of 2377. Is that a good look to the downside?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll look at that for sure. Yeah, we did look at that here this morning. I'd rather gouge my eyes out. Yeah, that's the first thing mentally that I felt as soon as I looked at this. There is no empty space unless you're looking at this from an investment perspective, which you could look at this as extreme strength. I mean, you've been holding the ground, even cost basis extremely well. So if we're around 316, hold on, what the fuck? Dude, who gave my number away, bro? The last week I have gotten so much spam. It's insane. From Paper Princess. Go fuck yourself. Excuse me, sorry. Voice to chat. Watch it actually be T-Mobile. It's not. Sorry. All right. With McDonald's, though, I mean, yeah, the build is kind of reminds me of this right here a little bit, but less whippiness. What's my watch list? Last time, Kroger, Netflix, Meta, Lulu, Crocs, AMSC. I am keeping an eye on Pins, SoFi, CarMax. Those are all on the watch list today. So, all right. Any other requests from the stream? Can I do Meta again? There you go. Yeah, so I'm looking for this one to go and move up into that 698 mark. I like the earnings potential. I don't mind putting a little bit, I made a lot of money on this stock, so I'm happy to uh trade it up. But yes, above basically Friday's high, 667. We're looking for a break over 673.23 and then up to 697.80. So I'll probably take 555 puts for earnings for a hedge. All right, Rigotti. See, this one is on standby for me, right? Because that, while still loose, that's what's still holding you up, right? And so with that candle closed, did we lose the box? Yes, but could we go and reclaim it? Also, yes. So I'm on standby. Listen, I'm exhibiting patience for sure. So what I would do here is set an alert. Yeah, you can even see the wick right there. So 2384 would be a great start, but 2427. Yep, I already got my alert set, and then we'll set one right before cost basis and leave it at that. Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, throw your fibs up, man. That's the only analysis. Listen, it takes zero talent for me to put extended fibs up. 70-50. What is your thought on day trade up on IWM? Also made an espresso tonic this morning. You're a genius. It's fucking good, isn't it? It's good. Plus, you're drinking some weird plant called quine or something like quinine. I should probably learn how to pronounce that. English is my native language. Ooh, what do you want to do to this one? You want to uppies? I didn't like that wick. That wick slapped that wall that has been the wall. So, what's above and what's below? So that's more of a box right there, and you're sitting on its cost basis. It's a lower time frame thing. So honestly, you know what? Outside of 194, you might have a chance to still go up and get it. There is a loose holes down to 180, but nothing really goes down until you lose from 190, 147, and then obviously 188.35. So what's an espresso tonic? It's espresso poured over tonic water. It's delicious. Bro up for earning. Man, see, I accidentally looked at that one. I think I didn't like the contracts, but I actually do like the set. Earnings, I do not think has really did. What did I come to a
Yeah, those
conclusion?
contracts are like 25 days out.
Yeah, they're monthlies. The move isn't always great. I mean, the setup is not bad, and 87 would be the first target up above. So I didn't do that bougie stuff. I just tonic lemon peel. Lemon peel, orange peel. Oh, you did lemon peel and orange peel? Okay. Yeah. I'm about to make another one here in a sec. Somehow I'm already drinking the whole tonic. The tonic water brand is called Barrett's. All right. Let's see here. 10 minutes. Yep. XOM. Yeah, so we're people are watching that one, not XOM, but is this all-time highs? Guys, I cannot help you. I cannot help you. I'm sorry. Jesus. Yes, I have looked at it. I do know that you know what stock TTI is looking at right now, and I actually was looking at this one too. Solar stocks. Solar stocks. Uh I didn't read any reports from him. I literally was looking at solar stocks for somebody, and I saw in his Discord he was posting about it, and I looked at it and I thought, well, fuck, that looks pretty good. And so we could be looking at solar stocks going into the next couple of weeks, but it is 60/50. Does he use a charting indicator? Are you talking about me? Because hell no. No, I definitely do not. Less drop them. Drop your indicators. Put them in the bucket. You can have them afterwards. That's a tan semiconductor. First solar would be a solar stock, yeah. This one doesn't have an incredible setup other than the fact that it has maintained being up at its highs, and it did build a box. So I mean, it'd be just as easy as setting a damn alert on the fucking box. Just leave it at that. But that would be a break in all-time highs technically. It's got a good base for it. Look at the monthly. Yeah. I mean, if you could get out of this range. So you manually add the levels in boxes, or is there a template? I have a box, but yeah, I mean, I find the range. I do it all myself because I don't trust computers aren't able to replicate this yet. Not in the way that fits my script. You know what I mean? So, um, but uh, but yeah, I add them all manually. So if I find a range like so, you know, again, there's confirmation typically in the chart. Right. Oh, no signals. Listen, there was a guy probably a couple months back who was like, I don't have the time to like learn how to do this. And I was like, I told him, I was like, everybody has the time to do this. And he was like, I think for the meantime, I'm just going to take signals, like kind of slow and low in the background. Not in my Discord, but just period. And he messaged me back, and his account is gone. Completely gone. Like, damn. but do you have a time for a kiss? Damn. You know, Ian Tez has been asking for a kiss for like a year now. That's persistence. Oh my God. Philo, what do you want to do to this? I mean,
It
it
might be
does.
time.
It might be time. That's crazy. That's crazy. Zoom out. Oh, yeah, I see it for sure. Oh my God. What the fuck? I mean, you can't really be bad at that setup right there. So, I mean, yeah, obviously correlate this to the lower time frame. I would just go ahead and do this, boss. Because that's what you're fighting for. So, how long do I usually hold positions for? Depends on the chart. Could be upwards to 2-3 weeks, like Celsius, or it could be 3 or 4 days, like Meta. So, all right, TikTok, YouTube, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great trading day. Hopefully, you can again go back on YouTube and watch these back during the day if you need to. But I'll be back at 2 o'clock. If you want to join the Discord, you're more than welcome to. PotterStocksTrading.com. But other than that, be safe, use good risk, and only trade setups that trigger you in the good way, not a bad way. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye bye.